This is StiltzkinKupo84 with Cat and Fam Gamer TV. We are going to go into our licenses menu because we're going to do something right now that is going to define our half of our party, at least, for a good way to come. We're going to get the Thorned Mace on all of our red mages. Now, why is that? Well, it can only be because we are about to enter the area where we can get the Thorn Mace. So I guess I would like to purchase all of these licenses in here. Like, I want the I want my red mages to own their class now. You know, I definitely want everyone to sort of have all of the equipment that was, I guess, planned out for their job by developers and such. So I'm going to go ahead and get all maces, all hats, and sure, I can get this War Mage too here even. Spellbreaker, Headsman would be a great one to have, actually. Oh, you know, I have some Black Mage stuff that I haven't owned yet. Okay, well, we're gonna get that. Alright, so with that done, I suppose I can go here. We're gonna open up Sight Unseeing for Ash. Something that I can't believe that I didn't already do. Just looking at it, it seems like something I would have done earlier. Increases strength when HP is full. That one looks great too. We're trying to get to this 310 HP though. Spellbound increases duration of status effects. We need another shield block. We definitely want Ash to be as much of a tank as possible. So we got that there. Let's see. Seems like Potion Lore 3 is there. That 350 HP looks pretty good. Of course, so does this 270. And we have enough. Do we have enough to get two things? Adrenaline increases strength. Spellbound. Spellbound would be good to have. Shield block, we could do shield block. You know what? I like this. The 270 HP and shield block. This will make Vaughn a lot sturdier of a character. Alright. So that's good. So we got Vaughn taken care of. Now let's see, we also want Balthier to sort of own his class. He has a glit measure, guilt measure, which he can't even equip right now. I want him to be able to do that. I also want him to have Libra. And if we get an arc scale and multi-scale, I want him to be able to equip that as well. So we have 20 LP left for him. Now we can do Phoenix Lore and hit points later. Those are all cool, but let's see, we got he still doesn't have enough to fully own his full foe breaker role yet. And what I mean by that is just basically buying up all of the empty licenses that we don't quite need. I want to get this third shield block here, that would be great. So I think Headsman might be the next thing, or maybe this Accessory 6. Even though I don't need it. I mean, a lot of these things down here, Phoenix Lore, HP, Spellbound, the fourth measure, a lot of these things will be some of our next purchases. Potion Lore 3, that's pretty good. Yeah, Ether Lores, Potion Lores that we have to buy. All this stuff's going to come into play at some point. Let's see, what don't we have? Oh, we didn't buy some of this foundational stuff. Oh, we also need to get this whip kick so we can get the white magic 2. Although Spellbound, we have haste now. She's a red battle mage, and she's also a time mage, so haste is something that she's going to want to hold on to. She'll want to be able to have haste cast on people for a long time. But you know what? It's pretty good just to be able to have her own all of the parts of her class. And if we get 4 more LP, she'll be able to buy this hat, and then she'll, be able to have basically a smooth, steady progression. Alright, so let's get familiar with this area. We don't have a map yet, and for the most part, we're not gonna have a map. The reason is because if we go to the city where the map can be purchased, then we'll give up Larsa. It's kind of cool having a 4th person in the game. We will continue having this 4th person in our party until, he becomes a liability. We haven't reached that point in the power jump yet. At some point, Larsa's hit points and frailty just become such that the party spends more time healing him and getting him out of a jam than they actually spend fighting any monsters. So we definitely don't want to... Let's kill this wild onion. We definitely want to realize when Larsa has worn out his welcome, is no longer really a help to the party. The biggest thing that he contributes right now, I think, is Bubble. Once we get the bubble, the green magic bubble, we can pretty much say goodbye to Larsa. We won't need him all that much after that. So what we're doing here is just pretty much clearing the area a bit. There's nothing down here that we really need. If I find pots for items, like, I'll pick them up, but there's nothing on this screen for sure that I'm really excited about getting. And in the Parameter Rift as a whole, there's only really a couple of cells that have anything worth picking up, or anything worth grinding for, I should say, for us. So we got a flame shield, but we already have 6 of those. That's not to say that there aren't good pickups in these places, because obviously we just got a flame shield. And if we hadn't already ground out you know, the previous area for flame shields, then that would be a great thing to find. And if you're just generally not grinding, you're resisting the urge to metagame, you need a couple of different areas, a couple of different chests to pick up a flame shield in. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that my commentary means that there's no real good treasure to be found here in this area. There is, especially if you're playing with ranged characters. There's a lot of different ammunitions to be found here. There's a Paramana crossbow you can come across. So I think there's a gun, like a Beetlejuice gun. I think there's some swords and a spear, I guess. Just a bunch of random things. But as far as what we have equipped already and will it benefit us? No, not really. Like, there's a Lamia's Tiara in the Paramina's Rift here, and that's a really good magic helm. Matter of fact, it's worth grinding if you don't have the black cowl already, which we do. So if you didn't take the time to explore the northern reaches of the Easter Sand, and you're coming to this part in the game, you're going to want to keep an eye out for that Lamia's Tiara. And to that effect, I'm actually even going to show you where that is. Because I guess out of all of the places to find items that we will be coming across, it's one of the more important pots to pick up. Okay, we have a southern exit down here. We're gonna use that. After we get some LP here. Okay, so let's have Fran finally own her Red Mage class fully here. Alright, now we just need Dark and War Mage and some of this stuff down here. She'll be good to go. I think what I'll be doing next is... Ooh, we have another LP over here. Well, he's walking away. He's sort of far. I'm not going to chase him. I think what I'm going to be doing is trying to get more Gambit spaces, just as a whole for my entire party. All these guys need more options of what they can do, so we're going to do that. We're going to get them... Ooh, darn it, we don't have a Libra on, because we just walked straight over a trap. It's a good thing it wasn't a very lethal one. I think it's worth noting that this area here doesn't even hold a lot of the more important equips that we will need to find from these chests. But this is where the Lamia's Tiara is found. And that will be very important to any player who has not gotten black cowls yet for the entire party. Because at this point in the game, it's pretty much the best equipment that you can find if you were simply just going and following the story path. Not only does it have the most MP out of all the equipments available at the time, but also there's a vitality boost, and the armor that it's paired with, pretty much every armor comes in paired sets. You know, there's a hat and a armor that goes with the pair. They're matched, and both the Lamia's Tiara and I think I'm trying to remember the name of the armor that is paired with, but I can't. Anyhow, that armor and that headpiece, they both carry a vitality boost. I think one is vitality plus 5 and the other is vitality plus 7. So, you know, they're good to pick up if you can find them. Now, here is where you can find the Lamia's Tiara. It's right in this pot over here. We didn't find one.
Not like this.
Oh, we need to get our lever up because we're running over traps. That's becoming problematic. Who has enough licenses to get another? Is it Ash? Ash may be able to get, yeah. Let's get her another gambit slot. And then we'll set up a lever gambit on Ash. Because, I mean, this is getting ridiculous. Alright. I think maybe I should have put the Libra up higher in the gambits. What is Ash doing anyhow? Is it cure ally any? Yeah, no, we want cure ally like 70%. Okay, so we now can see traps. Alright. Now this over here is a Yeti. He's pretty robust at this point in the game. As far as enemies go, he takes a lot of hits. He doesn't really hurt us as bad as we hurt him, though. So there's a recurve crossbow. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here that you might want, you know. We just don't want it for the purposes of this playthrough. Alright, so there's two cells out of the way that have things that we don't need. Now this down here, this entrance down to the west here goes back to the Feywood, and we don't want to go there yet. So, we're going to go to the Caradine Glacier, which is this way, down here. And this is where the thorn mace is gonna be. That was an ether. That can be an ice shield, which is also something we're gonna want to zone in for. Wow, these guys sort of ambushed us, huh? Nothing we couldn't handle. Let's get this Baratine croc out of here. And I think we're looking at an empty space where our thorned mace pot should be. That's annoying. Oh, nope, that might be it right there. And we get Gil. So, first run is a failure. There's some other things in this area that we want to try to get. So we're gonna try to get those now. There's two ice tips on the north side of this glacier here. See how this snow gives way to thin ice that we can walk on, and then there's water beyond that, and then there's thin ice on the other side. That pot right there, that could be something that we really want. It's a rare item called the Baltoro seed. Oh no, that is death. That maybe the Baltoro seed is the other one. 47? Oh. Okay, so I thought there was another point coming toward this point, but what it is over here somewhere is where the Baltoro seed pot will show up. So we've got this death over here is 47, and then somewhere down here is 46. So if we ever come here again and there's a pot on that ice outcropping, then we'll know that we found the Baltoro seed. And that's just generally something to be happy about. Down in the corner here, there's like a 6-footed pole, there's a mirror same, Are we going the right way? No. This way. Yeah, there's some equipment down this way. In this bottom corner here. There's some more onions. And they're peaceful at first. So there's like a bunch of different pots that could be here randomly. There's just an array of pots in this corner. There's like 3 of them here, and then there's one more around that curve right there. So 4 pots in this general area. Now we're not going to kill those onions, and the reason why is because if you kill all of the enemies in this Caradine Glacier, that's one of the requirements to spawning a hugely powerful enemy. It's a Daedalus type of enemy. I don't know if it actually is called Daedalus, or I think it might be. But there are other monsters in the game with the same type of a character model, monster model, and like, you know, the Blue Sang, the Headless. It's that type of a monster that I'm talking about. let's take this moment to come down here into this area, because this is sort of a cul-de-sac. It's a dead-end area, and we're just exploring it just so that we can say that we did, so that I can highlight it on my map as a place that we've thoroughly visited for the achievement that says, you know, visited all areas. Arrow mode, that's helpful. If we can pick up all these pots, but I'm not expecting anything huge here. Tan giant skin, that's a good bizarre item to have, I know. Okay, so these things, thank you, Larsa. I should have left you behind. Can we turn you in temporarily? Man. So things that are in this area are generally arrow motes, hunting crossbow is here, platinum shield is here, Loxley bow. There's a lot of good stuff in this area, but just not actually stuff that we need. So let's go back here. Nello, why do you have such low HP? Are your gambits weird? Cura, foe status, oil, Fira, regen. Oh, it's that regen. Guess we can put her on a lower Cura than everybody else. She's also solely responsible for decoy. So dropping her Cura will help a little bit, I guess. She'll get less heal chances in. Now, we don't have that ice shield pot that was supposed to be there. But maybe we'll be able to get a thorn mace here. No? Oh, that's a bummer. This pot showed up. We don't need that pot. 256 gil. Fine, whatever. We'll look over here, though. We'll look for that Baltoro seed chest over here. Yeah, so the Baltoro seed actually has a 1% chance to spawn. So it's probably one of the chests in the game that's hardest to get. Just by virtue of the fact that you kind of have to zone in 100 times before you even start to statistically put the odds in your favor that you're going to get a Baltoro seed. So we're going to keep our eyes out, we're going to look for it, but we're not really hanging our hopes on it. It's sort of one of those things, if we get it, we get it, if we don't, we don't. And I'm not really even sure what it does, to be quite honest. But I just feel like since it's such an exclusive thing to get, it must be powerful. So that's what I'm using to say, you know, maybe we should keep an eye out for it. It's because there's a 1% chance that it'll be there, and we don't want to miss that 1% chance of getting something. Every game has those things that, you know, there's a 1% chance of it being there, and geez, I hope there's no games that have less than a 1% chance for something to appear. Still getting an ether out of there. But there are Lamia's tiaras that we could be getting from that chest right there. Oh boy, we don't have a ice shield there. Hopefully we get our thorned mace. The pot's there. And it's Gil. Stupid Gil. Doesn't look like there's a Voltaro seed. Let me go ahead and put fast mode on. A clothes helmet. Now that's good. Some of these things, see, diamond shield, clothes helmet, those are good things to have. If we didn't have a bone mail and a bone helm already, those would be actually the next most powerful thing that we could get. So it really is helpful to some adventurers, some parties, some players who want to explore these areas and get the pots and, you know, try to pick up what's in them. But for us, we've just been grinding all the key areas and getting all of the key equipments already. No, nothing there. We're gonna have a collection of clothes helmets, that's for sure. Oh, Lamia's Tiara, there's one right there. See, so when we go to equip it, we get an extra 7 vitality. So this is almost as good. When we get half damage from ice, that's not listed in the guide, so maybe we should get a bunch of these Lamia's Tiaras because we have an ice boss coming up. So these Lamia's Tiaras could be directly useful in the near future. And pretty much any time that we're expecting to go up against things that throw ice spells. So I think we'll get those Lamia's Tiaras anyway. I downplayed their usefulness, but we can't do that anymore, obviously, knowing what we know about the elemental resistance. That's a key piece of equipment. So there's some things that the guide won't tell you, and it's sometimes worth it just to pick up some equipment, even if you think maybe you might already have something super powerful that you don't need it. You might just want to see what your options are. Because if we've got an ice shield on somebody that's granting 50% defense against Blizzara, and then we have the Lamia's Tiara that's giving another 50% resistance, then, you know, that's great. I think I'm going to take Penelo's decoy off, because I think that's what's draining her MP a lot. We're not getting any flame shields out of there. We're not getting any thorn maces either. Ah, that pot didn't even show up this time. We're certainly getting a lot of Gaia rods. Can't use. Sturdy Bone. I think Sturdy Bone is a pretty good bizarre material too. I think you need that for like a monk's pole or some kind of a spear of some kind, if I remember correctly. Ugh, no pot. It's bad enough if you know it shows up and it gives you gil. It's even worse if it didn't even bother showing up. The good thing, I think, is if the Baltoro seed has a 1% chance to show up, if you zone in, like, you zone out and zone in real quick 100 times, it won't disappear after it has appeared. So you could technically manipulate it by just running in and out 100 times real fast, which I feel like we're halfway to doing. And as long as you, if you don't leave the Parameter Rift area, it won't unload itself from the map. At least this is how I think it works. So I remember doing something similar in the Damasco Wester Sand. Wow, these Lamia's tiaras and these thorn maces are not coming as quickly as I would have hoped. Neither are the ice shields. There's one. Hey, we got one. Hey, and a thorn mace. I love it the first time anything shows up that I'm specifically stating is supposed to be there, because then I don't look crazy when it actually does happen. Okay, so we'll equip. We're gonna equip those things right now. Fran. So we're basically, we're making our bouges obsolete. Because now we have, what do we have? We have a miter, which is water elemental, and that won't even, that's almost kind of halfway obsolete, because we have a non-elemental weapon that has an on-hit poison status effect. So, like, what enemy are we gonna face that has a weak to water affinity? And for that matter, the class that uses the mace is the red mage after all, and red mages have aqua, they have access to water magic. Not very high level water magic, but then again, the miter is not a very powerful weapon, so apples to apples, magical or physical damage, you know, we're taking well, that's a 42. So I don't know what magic power the game code attributes to an aqua spell, but we're basically just going to keep the miter in our inventory just in case we might need it at some point in time somehow. Like, pretty much once we equip thorn maces on all of our red mages, that's what we're going to rock. That's going to be our jam for, you know, basically the rest of the game until we find something, some kind of a mace that's even more powerful. Thorn mace, I believe, is the definitive mid-game weapon that you definitely necessarily want on all of your red mages. Unless, of course, you have combined your red mages with other classes that give way better weapons. That's possible too. But in our All Shields campaign, we have not. I have not. Pretty much all of our red mages are set up to use maces and shields. Although Pinello, I believe, has a choice between knives and maces. Fran doesn't have a choice because all she can use instead is a crossbow, and we can't use crossbows, it's a two-handed weapon. And then I believe, yeah, Bosch too, he's a black mage, red mage, and so we can't use staves for him. Oh man, this thorn mace chest is just not showing up all that often. I'm sure you guys will understand if I go off camera, do some of this grinding to try to zone in and out and get some more thorn maces. We're coming up on 42 minutes, and let's see, what have I showed you? We can reach farther south if we really want to, but we can't actually take part in the story beat that is farther to the south until we reach this city to the north. The way that the dialogue is set up, we have to go north before they'll let us in to the location that we have to go to the south. So we could always explore there. I actually think that's what I'm going to do with the end of this video. Just so that I don't bore you guys completely to death. Where's that opening? Oh, okay. Looks like we're going all the way around here. So we actually have to, I guess, backtrack a little bit. This is some area that we've never been to yet. We sort of just went from the east straight across to the west. And there's a north, this is the northeast area that we sort of skirted over, never went to. Wow, Larsa, you keep tripping on all of these traps. Why must you do that? Oh, that's an elemental. We don't want the elemental to get mad at us. So we're gonna run. Let's see. There's nothing in here that is worth to us finding as far as treasure goes. Oh, and that elemental is right on her tail. So we can get some of this LP off of these wolves, but we're basically... Oh no! He's made our people confused. Oh, this is a losing battle against this elemental here. Okay, we're gonna run around because we don't really want to be here right now. That elemental kind of blew our cover a bit. Alright, so we explored that whole area. I ran around the perimeter of it so that we could come here. Still Shrine of Miriam ahead has been warded by His Grace, the Grand Kiltius. You must first go to Bur Omises if you wish passage there. Well, we're going to walk straight up to the entrance anyway. Everywhere you go in Ivalis there is a war. Only on Bur Omises do we refugees find peace. If you go to Mount Bur Omises, you go the wrong way. Head southeast down the slope, then to the north. I've lost my way too many times here. Alright, well let's save. Since it's here. Alright. Look at that big old thing. What's this monstrosity? We're gonna find out. It's called a Twin Tanya. That is... You know anybody named Tanya? I don't think they would appreciate being likened to this beast here. Dang, Tanya. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Now we have some Garuda here. Let's see what... That's where we came in at. Okay, so we have to get by all those traps. We could have fought those Garuda Eggy a little bit more, but I didn't feel like it really. So there's supposed to be a couple of potion bags here, a couple of item... Oh, there's one. Revive. Now this is our technic that we can use. Revive. You fully consume your HP to fully restore the HP of one KO'd ally. So this is like the technique that you put on the guy that you hate the most, or that is least useful to your party. So when I begin to rock Balthier with the measures only, and once I finally limit his ability to use axes and hammers, I'll probably use Revive on Balthier, because once he's got measures only, that's pretty much a wrap for his usefulness there. He becomes highly situational with those measures. I guess right now is not a bad time to institute that. I mean, he's got a guilt measure for the first time in the game. He recently got it in the Garamscythe Waterway. So we just haven't played with him a whole lot yet for me to institute it. Let's see. So we need an ice brand here. In this bottom corner here, there are 4 different chests. Pretty much 4 different sides of the compass rose. So in this corner, up here in the northwest, we have the ice brand, which is what we want. We didn't find it, so we can. There's another thing down here, and that elemental is following us. Oh, that's because that elemental doesn't like us already. That elemental saw us doing some magic, which sucks, because now we gotta run from it. So there's a chest there that holds something. There's a chest over here in this general area that holds right here that holds something. And then there's a chest, well, there was a chest somewhere over there that held something. Oh, there's a chest over here. A gladius. Okay, so the other items in this area, I showed you where the ice brand was. You saw the gladius just now. The glacial staff and the sledgehammer are the other 2 items that we want, so we really want the top 2. We don't really need the bottom 2, but we already got one of the bottom 2 there, so let us retreat. There's no beating that elemental right now. The Still Shrine of Miriam. Now the story will take us here later. Wow, we're messed up. Got a tourmaline ring. And what do we got on this side? There's a treasure over here. Another tourmaline ring. Wow. I think I already ground out 6 of those in the Osmond Plain, but that's good to have. If I had known about that, I guess I would have ground a little bit less in the Osmond Plain for those. A battle harness. Ooh, so a lot of good items coming into the Still Shrine of Miriam. And they just keep coming, don't they? Let's go get that one. An ice shield. That's one less that we have to grind for while we're trying to zone. Now, these guys here will be basically dismissive of us. Graceful and merciful Father guide you. Through him alone walk you the true path for Only by the will of the Grand Kiltias may the seal on these doors be broken. To the north rises holy Mount Ber Omises. There may you find him. This place is warded by the Grand Kiltias Anastasis. To leave for leave to enter, seek an audience with his grace on Mount Ber Omises. So they're basically like, get out of here. But at least we found a save crystal. And we can use this to teleport around. So when we do visit the Grand Kiltias up north, and he tells us to come here, we'll be able to teleport straight here. How about that? Alright, now we have zone 2 spaces. So that means we can enter that ice field again. And the elemental will have forgotten about us. Even better, perhaps, the elemental will not be there. Because it doesn't always spawn. So we're going for the top 2. Ooh, we got a glacial staff there. You guys saw the Gladius over here. We don't really need another one, but we could probably sell another one. Come on. So now we need to... Let's kill this Yeti. Oh, there's an elemental over there. So it looks like we'll be dashing and running around. So, no sledgehammer. Worm carapace, that's good to have. Okay, so the ice brand would be about here, I think. No, it would be a little more... It would be right behind this rock. It'd be right here. So there's no ice brand to be had here, which is a bummer. If we can beat it out of here without running into that elemental and showing him that we know how to cast magic, then we can just keep zoning back in till we do find an ice brand. Oh, I don't like that. That Yeti is right there, and the ice elemental too is right there. I don't like that at all. Go away, ice elemental. Let's run around the Yeti this way. Yeti doesn't seem to want to go there. Alright, let's go find the ice brand over here. No. Sledgehammer. No. Alright, well, we tried. Lure him over here. Okay. We got through that one. Unfortunately, because this elemental is here, I don't think it will ever not be here until we kill it. Once it spawns, that's it. So it'll be here until we stop coming here. A biomote, huh? No deal, I don't want a biomote, I want an ice brand. Huh. So our only option to being able to get to this cell without an elemental in it is to have come here during weather where elementals don't spawn first. Sledgehammer! Found it. Now let's see if we can get a... Oh no, you know what? I think the elemental did go away. I don't see it. Could be at the other end of this cell, I guess. Could always be hiding. I definitely don't see it over here. So we'll take this chance to down this Yeti. And we have a sledgehammer now that we can equip on Balthier. And the sledgehammer gets a disable on hit. So I mean, even more powerful than the hammerhead. A disable on hit. This here is the point when the foe breaker's weapons start getting highly exploitable and just stupid strong. So it kind of makes sense if I was to say at this point, no, we're just going to have Balthier do the clip measure because we don't want him to be stupid strong. Kind of makes sense for this to be the point for that to happen, because if we cut him off from the sledgehammer, he never gets super powerful. Also, we wouldn't have to do the bizarre recipe that makes him get the Scorpio or the Versika or whichever hammer that is. I think those are each obtainable in the bazaar through different recipes. Another glacial staff. Glacial staffs are good to have too. I think those increase the power of water things, water spells or something. Oh boy, I'm sure glad that elemental is not mad at us. I'm kind of just going for an ice brand. Got a bunch of glacial staffs. We're not running into any enemies, so we don't necessarily... Oh, well, then I spoke too soon. I was gonna say we don't necessarily need to run from that elemental if we're not hitting other enemies. And the reason is because if, you know, there's no other enemies in here, then we won't be casting magics. Especially now that Ash just did Libra out here. That was fortunate timing. Because, I mean, she could always cast Libra right on top of the Ice Elemental, and that would be bad. Got another sledgehammer, even though we don't need it. Need that ice brand in that corner right there. Looks like we got no elemental for a bit. I think in most settings, they have elementals spawn when the weather gets bad. But in this Parameter Rift, this Icy Scape here, they have the elemental come out on a clear day. Which is a twist. Ah, well. This is what I'll be doing off camera, guys. If you're wondering, I'll basically be zoning in for this ice brand here, and then I'll be going between those two those two cells that we were going between before, trying to get the Lamia's tiaras and the ice shields and the thorn maces. And maybe that 1% chance at a Baltaro seed. But, I was gonna go save, and I don't really want to do that because I don't want to zone 2 zones away. I don't want to reset all of the monsters in there. So guys, I guess I'll just make another run at the ice brand over here. And hopefully we find it. Nope, we didn't. So no ice brand. And I guess that's where we'll leave the video. So, you know, thanks for watching. If you like what you've been watching, go ahead and like and subscribe. I'll go ahead and grind out some of these items off camera. And I'll see you guys on the next video. This is StiltzkinKupo84, representing Cat and Fam Gamer TV. Thanks for watching.